All right, we have snow to track, so I'm not going to do it with puppets. I'll just do it here in person. Let's take a look at some recent numbers coming in, getting a few additional snowfall reports. Again, this will not be a huge blockbuster storm in terms of snowfall amounts, but some pretty intense snow fell earlier this morning and continues to fall in spots. North Smithfield around 2.5 from our friend Jim, and then 6.5 in Burville, 6.5. So you can see it only takes a few miles to make a huge difference with these snowfall totals. Even a few hundred feet of elevation can make a big difference. Some central Rhode Island numbers. North Providence recently coming in at 2.5 inches, Providence at 1. Keep in mind, most of these reports are on the grass, although we have gotten some coating and some accumulations on the roads at times, especially before the sun came up. Massachusetts seeing a report of Taunton around 3 inches, North Dighton around 2. So we just have another half an hour for western Rhode Island with the snow, maybe an hour, hour and a half for Providence and areas out to the east. But one thing working in our favor will be the fact that the sun is up. It's going to make it harder for the snow to stick to the roads. Notice the brighter colors indicating where the snow is lighter. I want to take you a little bit closer. These darker blue stripes are where the heavier bands of snow still are. You can see stretching through 95 here in South County down through South Kingstown. And these continue to kind of move in this direction. They're kind of diving down to the south and the east. So if you're in this region, especially along 95, just be mindful. You could briefly see a little accumulation on the roads and on the grass. And then we're pretty much done with this. As you can see on the loop, look at Connecticut. We're starting to clear out. This will be moving through over the next couple hours. And then the snow part of the story completely comes to an end, and the wind story takes over. Although, because of some snow lingering on a lot of these tree branches, especially in northern Rhode Island, because it's heavy, wet snow, the combination with the wind, not a great combination. So we will have to keep an eye on some of those snap limbs, or the potential for some of those snap limbs and the power outages as we take you through the rest of the day, perhaps some lingering snow showers around lunchtime. That would be about it. Now, I briefly want to touch on what's on the way for tomorrow. We actually have two snowy systems to talk about. One is about to leave, but this next one arriving, I'd say, just after the morning commute. So the Monday morning commute looks okay, and then the south coast will see a combination of rain and snow, mostly snow from Providence up to northern Rhode Island. And as the snow continues into the evening, that's where we could see several inches of accumulation. So we need to keep an eye on that system as well. TJ will have another look at that one this evening. Tony and Michelle will obviously be all over that. Just not enough time to really dig into that storm right now. I know you're disappointed. Sunday morning, this morning, we'll keep you in the high category because of the snow and the wind. And then this afternoon, back into the medium category as the gusty winds continue. Now, the winds, you can see they have increased as of late. The camera here in Providence shaking around. And as we look at our camera here in Narragansett, or this is actually Oakland Beach and Warwick, not seeing too much on the roads, but we are seeing a nice little coating there on the grassy surfaces. In Narragansett, you know, we have seen some flakes flying, but just not a lot in the way of any accumulation at all on the roads or on the grass. And that's because our temperatures have been just warm enough at the surface to kind of prevent that from happening, that buildup of snow on the roads. But from Providence into Smithfield, you can see we're 34 in Providence, but 30 in Smithfield. These temperatures are cold enough to allow not only accumulation on the grass, but on the roads as well. So not completely out of the woods if you do have plans to drive up through northern or western Rhode Island for the next hour or two in terms of the potential of some slick roads. 17 miles an hour recently in Smithfield, 23 miles an hour in Providence. Now, keep in mind, those are sustained winds. Recently, our gusts, 37 here in Newport, 44 Hyannis, 51 out towards Nantucket, and these will continue to be strong. May pick up a little bit for inland spots over the next several hours, and that's because the center of low pressure spinning to our east. When we get in this situation, often the strongest winds can be on the backside of the storm, and unfortunately that is where we sit throughout the afternoon. That will also affect wind chills. Highs actually in the 30s. It's going to feel like it's in the 20s. Not a pleasant day to be outside. Here's a look at later this morning into the afternoon. Notice gusts between 40 and 50, and then by late afternoon tapering off to 30 and 40. That's still pretty windy. By late evening, the winds will start to calm down. I'm thinking right now 3 to 6 inches. Now keep in mind, this means as little as 3, as much as 6. These 6-inch amounts likely to be more isolated. We've seen a few of those higher amounts come in some of the higher hills here in northwestern Rhode Island around the Gloucester area. A coating to 2 inches for the rest of us from Providence down to the south coast, and this will mostly be on the grass, a little bit on the road there for northern Rhode Island, but it's the time of year where grassy accumulations can be much, much different than pavement accumulations. There is system number 2 tomorrow, and then drier for the middle of the week with some rain by the end of the week. You can always get an updated Futurecast over on our website and read our weather discussion at WPRI.com.